let me bring on Rich Fitzgerald, who is our county executive, the Allegheny County Executive, which Pittsburgh is in Allegheny County, and it encompasses many, many municipalities. So Rich is like a mega mayor. And I would like to say he has a 30-year background in engineering, and he is also a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University, which is located, as you know, right here in Pittsburgh. Preeminent university, a lot of technology. And we're proud to have Rich Fitzgerald. Please join me in welcoming him.
Thank you, Sima, and welcome everybody for being here. Welcome to Pittsburgh. For those of you who have not been here before, I don't know if it lives up or lives down to your expectations of what you anticipated, but I think a lot of people when they come to Pittsburgh have an image in their mind, and then when they come here they see something much, much different. I want to thank Ambassador Bugira for being here as well, and Minister of Health Asaiti, thank you for being here. We appreciate your presence and your work and what you're doing, and we're very proud that Pittsburgh has the American Institute, the Middle Eastern Institute for our country in Pittsburgh, and I think it shows a little bit about where Pittsburgh has come. I know there's a lot of what's going on in Algeria around one industry, and I can tell you the experience of putting all of your eggs in one basket is not something that worked for us. When I say worked for us, I'm going to talk about Pittsburgh, I'm going to talk about steel, because maybe you expected to see steel mills when you came through the tunnel or you came here, whatever way you came here. But that's what Pittsburgh was known for decades, for well over a century, and it was great for us. Most of our parents and grandparents worked in those mills, made good livings in those mills, provided for their families in a good middle class and even upper middle class lifestyle in those steel mills. But then in the late 70s and early 80s, it collapsed on us. It literally went away, and hundreds of thousands of people lost their jobs. Our economic system was devastated. I mean, it was just, I can't even describe what went on for years and years. And really for almost 3 decades, we continued to hemorrhage young people. During the early part of the last century, we exported steel. Well, over the last couple of decades, what we exported was our young people, because there were no opportunities here. So what we had to do was reinvent ourselves. We had to reinvent our economy and diversify our economy. And if you see Pittsburgh now, you see a lot of companies that weren't even thought of or weren't even known 30 years ago. And they are growing here in Pittsburgh. Companies like Google. We still make steel, by the way. It's still part of what we do. But the energy companies that have come here with the discovery of the Marcellus Shale, our medical technology, transplant, and some of the pharmaceuticals that we do, some of the most impressive research and development that's going on anywhere in the world. We do major rail. The rail companies are here in a big way. We do a lot of tourism and a lot of industry. We make movies here. We do a little bit of everything because we learned that diversification was really the key to us surviving. And what's happened to Pittsburgh now is young people are not only staying here, that grow up here, but they're moving here. Pittsburgh has actually become a cool city again, a place where people like to do business, where people like to live, like to interact. So we appreciate working with all of our partners across the globe. And there's no question that some of the things that you have going on in Algeria, as we heard the presentation before, really fit right in with how Pittsburgh does business. Whether it's the infrastructure work that you're working on, whether it's the energy exploration, whether it's petrochemical plants, whether it's rail work, whether it's pharmaceutical, all those things are things that there's no question we would have a good relationship with. We would have an ability to interact culturally, to interact economically, and do business with each other. Our universities have been a major, major source of us, our rebirth. What's happening in Pittsburgh and around technology, around our universities like Carnegie Mellon University, the University of Pittsburgh, Duquesne, Chatham, Carlo. We've got about 9 major universities in the county that I am the county executive of, with about 1.3 million people in that county. About 80,000 of those 1.3 million are students that are part of the college system. So our young talent and young brain energy is something that's really important. President Obama himself came here 4 times last year, made 4 visits to Pittsburgh to talk about, for the rest of the country, do what Pittsburgh's doing. Some of the things, some of the innovative things that are happening here around technology, around entrepreneurship, are things that we're very, very proud of. And to have that recognized by our president is something that, you know, again, we're very, very proud of. And I can tell you, one quick story. When you're an elected official, you get to meet people like the president or like the governor of your state. But the president came to town earlier this year, and he arrives at our airport, like I'm sure most of you did, and you know how far it is. It's about a 20-25 minute ride, although he gets to do it a little quicker than most of us do, so he had a faster ride. And he invited the mayor and I to ride with him, and it was the first time he's ever done that. And of course, when you ride with the President of the United States, you're just a little bit intimidated. And the mayor and I didn't really know what to say, and we kind of sat there tongue-tied. So the president carried on the conversation. And what the president wanted to know was, how did you guys do it? How did Pittsburgh reinvent itself when so many older industrial cities from the Midwest and the upper Northeast not be able to come back like Pittsburgh did? And I can tell you that was one of the most proud moments that Mayor Peduto and myself were able to have a president talk about what we're doing here in Pittsburgh. And I would say it's the diversification is a big part of what we've done, but I'll give one other secret to our sauce. It's cooperation. We work together. Our business community, with our labor unions, with our universities, with our government officials, our small businesses, our large businesses, our local, our governmental levels from the federal level, state level, county level, and municipal level, we work together. And we work together almost because we were forced to, because of what happened when I described earlier on when we had that tremendous job loss and population loss. So through almost force, we learned to work together, we learned to diversify, and we've become a city on the move. We've become a region that people take notice to, not just around our country, but literally around the world. So we're delighted that the American Institute is located here, and Sima and her folks working with you, and we look forward to working with you over the coming years. So anything we can do, we want to continue to have our partnership with you. So welcome again. Thank you for coming to Pittsburgh, and enjoy your stay. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our business conference. I would like to thank once more our distinguished visitors from the Middle East, Your Excellency, Minister Dr. Al-Saidi, the Minister of Health from Oman, Ambassador Hunaina, your colleague, Ambassador, the Undersecretary Maharbi, I'm butchering the names. Thank you for being here from Oman. Ambassador Bulgara from Algeria, thank you very much. And Dr. Shikun, thank you to all of our participants and also our major sponsors, Samir Khalil of Pharma. We couldn't do this without you. And our other sponsors, the silver sponsors, Highmark, Elliott, UPMC. We've heard from all of them. We've heard from many of them that are on the back of this cover. Again, we couldn't do this without the generosity of our sponsors. And that's because we all want to connect with the Middle East and develop these important partnerships. And hopefully with your help, we'll do it. I wanted to also say that we're going to have conclude this evening. The conference concludes at the Carnegie Music Hall tonight with the CNN host and author, Fareed Zakaria. Many of you are registered for our VIP sponsors dinner, and Maria, our Director of Operations, asked that I remind those of you who are leaving from the Omni, the bus leaves at 5:05. So please be ready. And I also would just like to thank Maria Hastings and the team, and Jeff Coleman, our producer, all of the different very hardworking individuals who came together to make this conference possible. So I'd like a round of applause for all of you and the team. Thank you. And we'll see you tonight.